What is up, guys? Welcome back to the SC Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach of the Savage Meanies. Round 13 is in the books. Melbourne have come back. St. George have got their first win. And I'm joined by someone who is recognisable with winning, the winner of the 2021 SuperCoach season, Tim Moodie, the coach of the Villi Army. What's going on?
Yeah, that's right. I guess I am recognised as having won. I mean, a lot of people, have gone out there and tried to put some early labels on me, like, could I be the SuperCoach GOAT? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want any of these labels or anything like that. But I guess one criticism that people have really always had about my game is just that I haven't really dominated SuperCoach Origin. That's just, I do think that is the one criticism I've had of me. So, just really trying to stamp my mark this year and ranked, I think it's 289 in SuperCoach overall. So, pretty stoked with that.
SuperCoach Origin. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. SuperCoach Origin, yeah.
Yeah, the one knock on you is you haven't dominated Origin. Yeah. You're here, you're dominating Origin.
Yeah.
You've got one game out of the way, but you've got to dominate the rest of the series. How'd you actually go? Like in terms of players, like what was your difference?
I kept it pretty simple, hey. I think that I just captained Nath, I vice-captained Teddy. And, I don't really think I had anything too out there. Hey, I think I just sort of kept it pretty straightforward.
I only scored 70 less than you, and I'm ranked 9,700. What, at least my normal classic rank is a lot better than my SuperCoach, or it's 2,000 spots better than my SuperCoach rank. Round 13 in the books. I was actually having a good week. It felt like I was having a good week, but then I think the last game absolutely screwed me. I made a late decision to bench Helam Lukey so I could play Leka Halasima.
Really?
Leka Halasima went off nice and early and got 20 great, valuable points. And then Helam Lukey went over for 98. He's just absolutely killing it this year. I thought I was on with something with how the Raiders came out and dominated the Cowboys, but wasn't meant to be. I had my captaincy on Dylan Edwards, who scored 83. He only scored 5 more points than Reece Walsh, who was on 8 at halftime. Like, I was looking at that thinking, Jesus, this is a masterstroke. Reece Walsh gets 2 late junk try assists, and then Dylan Edwards has the game of his life and scores 83. Like, you can't pick SuperCoach, but that's how it goes. Val Holmes, 103 for me.
As if you don't Val Holmes, bro. Come on. No, that worked out well for you. It's worked out better for you than what my guy did. I remember when you brought in Val Holmes, I brought in Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. This was last weekend. No, not the weekend, just went the weekend before. I had a desperate moment where I decided I wasn't bringing Tamari Martin in a week before the bubble. Yeah, so I decided with I heard some of Webster's comments. I thought, it still seems up in the air. I might just keep my powder dry. I'll bring Roger in, and Roger, he's done one of the last people to own Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, which is exciting and cool little thing to have, but he's doing nothing for me, so got to move him on. And then, this week was a bit of a disaster for me too. I ended up captaining Drinkwater. And that was a last second.
That was a late decision too.
It's all the last second things, man. This one, it was because of Tommy Turbo, who's not even in like the SuperCoach contention at the moment. He's sitting on the panel. He was sitting on the panel, and Mick Innes was saying how he thought that the Raiders would be up for this one at home, and the Ricky would have him right up for it. And Turbo goes, "Gonna have to disagree." He just went really, really directly. He goes, "Cowboys will win. Scotty Drinkwater will be the best player on the field." And I'm like, all right, let's just roll the dice.
Actually, you called me, and I was strongly disagreeing.
Yeah, you're like, just back yourself. Don't worry about what he's doing, what he thinks.
I said these footy players, like, they're not watching the games probably as closely as us. I'm sure some of them are. I'm sure probably most of them are, but there are certain players who I would think, maybe not Turbo, but like,
I always feel like the players are probably watching it better. They're doing reviews on other sides. They probably got a bit of downtime through the week. The real competitive guys probably watch every game. So I just thought that he might have had a real good feel of it. I remember before, I've heard Kieran Foran say, before he got picked to be a coach this year, he was like making some comments about who he thought would win, and they did. It was a massive upset. So I like those like ex-players that have like just come out of it, or players that are still in the game.
Luke Keary, especially,
he's good.
He's going so good at the moment. But I guess just with that, like, I really didn't think it should have persuaded your decision at all, because he's probably prepped prior to that live broadcast saying, "Hey, we need you to pick a side, and you're the fullback here, so back the fullback and say why he's so like." Come on, Timmy. You've come in.
Look. I'm not playing well. I'm second guessing myself, and so these things happen. Look, I've made my own bed, and it's a difficult season. We'll get through it. And
you said a couple of weeks ago that you wouldn't overthink it, and this is the epitome of overthinking it.
Well, what was just taking on new information and reacting to it? Like, it was pretty.
It's fair. It's fair. It's kind of helped you in the past, if anything.
Yeah. So like, I can't pick and choose my moments, I guess, if I'm gonna use that sort of analogy.
What'd you score and where are you ranked?
Oh, just shy of 1,200, and I'm ranked around just shy of 22,000. So yeah, that's where we're at. And I was sitting there about 2 weeks ago. I went up about 2K in rank and then dropped exactly almost the exact same number to where I was sitting here 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, I went down 1,200 spots. I'm ranked 7,050. I'm actually like. It's below where I want to be, but I'm feel like I'm making my way up. I feel like I'm in a nice position, and there's no one I'm scared of not having at the moment. You know when you don't have players that you're really scared of not owning. I don't feel that at the moment. I don't have Reece Walsh, but I'm not really scared of him, and I wasn't scared of him prior to this weekend. I think he might be a must-have by the bye, maybe, just depending. And
yeah, I'm a little bit scared of him just because like he's the only elite gun that will be available for round 15. Still has the Titans this week. They were really bad on the weekend, so you think that they're going to have some sort of shift in attitude and performance as well. Then they go into the Bunnies, who are kind of still pretty bit light as well.
They've leaked a lot of points, especially in bye rounds. They won't have Cameron Murray. They won't have is that it? Like no Latrell still.
Latrell's a big one.
They've got Fafita and Smith back. Tallis Duncan will still be there. But yeah, all right. Let's move on to the team list wrap up for the week, because there is quite a bit of team list news. And moving over to all the Origin players are named to return, except Cooler. He hasn't satisfied the return. He satisfied the return to play criteria, including testing. Josh Fellett in Jackson. So he's there. Where's Cooler?
He's on.
Oh, he's there. He's in centre. So the HIA, not a thing.
Well, I think they've still got to get it approved.
No, it's been successful.
Oh, has?
Yeah. So he's been named. Rabbitohs, Dave Fafita and Brendan Smith return.
I'm pretty sure they've named him, but it still needs to be approved. That's what the NRL website says anyway. So.
Yeah, it says Tolu Cooler has been named to play after receiving a clearance from the NRL.
Well, that might have happened recently. Yeah.
Storm take on the Knights Friday night. Nick Meaney still sidelined. Manai Watari into the centres. Sean Bloor on the reserves. And the Knights, Sandon Smith is out. Fletcher Sharp moves to 5'8". Fletcher Sharp, probably not going to have him on the run sheet today, but...
Doesn't play round 15. It just depends what you need, I guess. I don't want to... There's so many great buys that I'm going to probably say doesn't play round 15 throughout this podcast. And if you've got enough numbers or you're not too stressed about round 15, there's probably some really good buys that don't cover that round 15. It's a good opportunity to sort of get some of these players as a bit of pod ownership when other people are just focusing on buy round numbers. So
what are your numbers like?
Oh, they're getting worse, man. Like, you remember a couple of weeks ago, even about a month ago, I'd flagged that my numbers were really, really bad. I think I had 3 about a month ago for round 15. And I've just started bringing in only kind of round 15 players, with the exception I had to bring in Ruben Garrick as a panic trade 2 rounds ago. That was when RTS got injured and put up a 5. So I boosted to try get a genuine 13th player. But now if all of the players that I do have available to play round 15 are still available by round 15, and I still use all of my trades to bring in round 15, I'll only have 11. So that's the best case scenario.
For round 15?
Yeah, the best case scenario. And I've got guys like Macassini. I've got guys like Hynes. It's a tragedy.
So you're counting them as best
I
case?
have to count them. I've got no other option but to count them at this point.
No.
Yeah. So, and that they are included in, if they're available, I'll get to 11 by making 5 trades, because I've had I brought in Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and he got
they were numbers you accounted for.
Yeah, and I've had a few more over the recent little period too. So yeah, it's just not getting.
Yeah, so you are in the position where you literally have to look at him and be like,
can't bring in like a Kiraz, can't bring in. Sorry, hand just went across the telly.
Oh no, it's all right. I was just checking.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them like a Dylan Lucas, all those sorts of guys. Go say they're not for me. Unfortunately,
interesting. That's sad.
Which is it's difficult because I did this with like a Marju around like round 13 by numbers and said not for me, can't bring him in, and went really well, and then bought him the week after, so yeah, it's a bit tough.
Yeah, interesting. I think at the moment I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 11 at the moment with making one.
11 at the moment. I go 11 best case scenario.
But that's with making trades this week and counting Hynes and Makasini. So there's every chance that could be completely different by the time the buys come. I might make another trade this week just based on that because
I've also got Halasima as one of them I'm counting, which is he just got injured.
Did he?
Yeah, well, you know that. He came off he only played 41 minutes. He did a hammy, I think.
Oh, fuck. So I've got 10.
You just thought he put up a 21.
I just thought, I didn't watch the full game because I was out at bloody the zoo.
I've also got Tedesco as one of them I'm counting who, like this, the Origin chat is, like we will get to maybe a little bit of Origin chat, but for me, I'm looking at that going, New South Wales are probably the one that should be making some changes, although they've won. They were the team that looked like they were behind the mark until we got a player advantage. And then Queensland are probably the ones, even though they've lost, that probably shouldn't be making as much changes because they pretty much had the job done until, the incident.
I 100% agree with you.
So I'm looking at guys like I was tempted to do like a Teddy sort of trade out this week, thinking he's 100% going to be.
He has 197 break even. So
yeah, so we'll get to that a bit later, I guess. But
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Like potentially trading one of the guys that could be available for me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming he probably won't be anyway.
All right. Raiders take on the Roosters. Dane Laurie moves from lock to centre for Seb Chris. Jaden Brayley is back from concussion and Joe Roddy returns to the bench. Nawaqanitawase for the Roosters named on the bench. For the Cowboys, Ruben Cotter returns. McKaylee has been named despite a knee injury. Dolphins, Herbie Farnworth and Cody Nikorima return, and all the Origin stars are set to back up as well. For the Broncos, take on the Titans. Shibasaki and Pat Carrigan are out. Also, Grant Anderson comes into the centre. Xavier Willison to lock. Ezra Mam dropped with Tom Duffy moved to number 6. The big one here, though, I'm not sure if he's on the run sheet for you. Payne Haas. Yeah, I think we'll talk about him after anyway.
I mean, I'm not going to be buying him now around Origin, but
no, but he's very $650K.
Yeah, well, it depends what you need, and availability is better than ability this time.
It's true. Titans, Tino returns. Ollie Pascoe returns after the head knock, so that's good news. The Panthers take on the Tigers. Mav Gaia makes his second appearance of the season. Charlie Murray comes into 13. For injured Alex Twal, huge blow for owners. Jesus Christ, I would have had a nice crop of players playing round 15 if injuries didn't occur. Penrith players all back up from Origin, all return after being rested on the weekend. The Sharks take on the Dragons. Nicola is back after being rested last week. Nico Hynes still out. Blake Brayley out. Jaden Barrell moves into hooker. For the Dragons, Jacob Little is back from a hamstring injury. And the last game, which is next Monday, Serrato sticks solid to the same side as the weekend. And Eels, not many changes there, except Talon De Silva moves into the bench. What's your biggest takeaway from these team lists? I think the big one here for me, Nico Hynes. He is out. He's set to be out for 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. It's been up in the air, all the reports. Dare I say he'll be touch and go for round 15. I'm holding at this stage, but I'm definitely keen to see your thoughts on it.
Yeah, well, I'm desperate for him to be available next week for me. So I'll be definitely holding. But yeah, I guess if you kind of, I don't know, it's Who would you sell out of him and Cleary if you wanted to free up a spot?
I'm getting that low on trades that
You're not looking to sell guys that you want to keep. Yeah, I'm a bit like that too.
There's not that many of them. There's Nathan Cleary, James Tedesco. Like they're the two that and like Harry Grant and Cameron Munster have had negative break-evens. They're performing really well. They're backing up. So I'm happy to hold these guys because they're not that much value. Someone like Cameron Munster, I can see myself maybe selling if I need to by the last buy. If I don't see him as a season keeper. But I don't know. I feel
I'm feeling the vibe he probably kind of is like he's at least a top 3 guy. Unless you've got that guy in your mind that I want him instead, then he's thereabouts.
No, well, I think the position's just so dead that like I may as well hold on to him. He's been a really good pod for me the last few weeks. 127 Magic Round, and I
get the vibe Fletcher Sharp's probably the best one to finish with. I reckon he'll find his form, and
I'm still not convinced on his fitness.
That might come
slowly
back.
getting better.
Yeah.
Slowly getting better for sure. But Nico Hynes, I think for myself, I'm going to hold off. Just hold off selling. I probably won't even sell him because he once again is a season keeper.
Yeah.
The temptation is there to go to like a Jaden Campbell or move Tamari Martin up or plenty of different ways you can go about it. But Nico Hynes, he's got the biggest ceiling out of most other players. He's a goal kicker. Yeah. I can't see it being a decent trade unless you got bloody heaps of trades, eh?
The only reason I'm sort of considering maybe selling a half in either Nico or Nath, and it'd probably be Nath, which I'm not really loving because he's expensive and it'd be hard to get back, is that I could sell him to a guy that I consider not like is a keeper quality that I'd want to finish with, but he's a gun still into like in Campbell. Because doing something like that frees up enough cash to make another move that I want and make another upgrade. So rather than sort of downgrading like a mediocre player to like a bottom dollar drag to free up cash, I just think having an extra sort of gun quality player on the field might be a better way to free up cash, at least temporarily over this period, and then try to find a way back to them. Because too many times I've brought in guys like Luke Garner, Halasima, just because they're at the right price. And they've not only not done a job for me, they've like done a disservice. I've been forced to play them some weeks. And
yeah, I think for me, I've done exactly the same with Luke Garner, Halasima. It's not like I'm forced to play them, but I want to play them because I'm like, they're a great pod.
You kind of want to get something out of them for letting you down so much. I've felt a bit like that with Garner at times too. Just, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so Nico Hynes probably not a buy or not a sell.
Well, the more you wait, if you wait to 15, right, and he's not available for round 15, then you're just 1 week closer to when he is back anyway. So I think if you haven't sold last week, then you just hold because you end up waiting and get to 15 and go, all right, I'll sell him to someone else. And then he's sweet and he's good. He's back to go.
And then he's good to go the next week.
Yeah. Yeah, so he could be back for round 16, and yeah, he would miss 17, which is a standalone buy. So that doesn't matter. That's the good part about Nico missing that standalone buy if he does. Like, it's not as detrimental.
That's fair. Another big talking point from the team list, Jacob Kiraz, still named at fullback. He's the second most traded in player this week at 650K. He has a break even of 6. So this is the week to get him if you want to get him. I got to say, like, him at fullback, I don't absolutely love, but
I don't mind it. I think
he looks strong. He looks like he wants to get his hands on the ball, prove a point. I don't love him as a SuperCoach player, but he's just so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I'm at with him. I guess I'm a little bit sort of feeling like I can't get him because of the round 15 thing, and he's going to go up too much in that little 2-week period or whatever anyway. So, yeah, kind of just one of those guys I feel like hope he kind of isn't, a thing all year. Like he either sort of tweaks himself a little. It's not nice to wish upon someone, but, it's going to happen to some players anyway. Just hope that that's not a guy that keeps putting up hundreds. He looks like the tries aren't sort of things that will always come for him at fullback. But
they never have come for him.
But they have the last
past.
2 weeks, and that's got him to where he needs to be with those real solid scores. And he's offloading and he's tackle busting. His tackle busting's really good.
His base and power is 60 points. He has 108 and 109 the last 2 weeks with 52 and 48 in evade. Base of 46 and 41 in the last 2 weeks. Did go off with an injury like Kiraz, for someone who is really strong in contact and all that sort of stuff, comes off a lot for injury.
Yeah, that's what I sort of feel like he might not be. Not that I'm wishing upon him, but I just feel like he might not be
last the
season.
Yeah,
little dribs and drabs. And he'll be good for the period you have him, and you could probably just roll with him until it happens. And he might just be one of those guys that come out and just smash it, turn their form around too, and be the change they needed.
Parramatta, Manly. There's Parramatta by Manly, Titans by Canberra, Tigers, and then their run in the back end of the season is no good. So he's good through this period, but his bye coverage is awful. So it's kind of it's tempting for the matches you do get a good bite of him, but at the same time, it's like
it's a pretty good little draw. Like if you don't need him for 15, and he also doesn't play 18, so he's not going to play either of the major buys. But Parramatta this week, then by Manly, pretty like I know they're Fosball and all that, but they're not like fully like a force to be reckoned with defensively. They're improving, but then the Titans too, so pretty good. And even outside of that, after that they have the bye in round 18, then Canberra and the Tigers. Tigers sort of getting a little bit back there, and so are Canberra after last week. But it's a pretty good draw. I'd be pretty keen just because it doesn't seem like there's heaps of. Remember, we were having a chat last week. You said to me, if you could have anyone, forget buys, they weren't a thing. Like, what CTW would you buy if there was no buys or anything? Who's your favourite sort of one to have? And I was like, I'll probably just Jenkins at the moment. But there's not heaps of them. Like,
there's not.
There's all like some of the guns that just aren't available, or
yeah. There's not. I guess moving on to the next one, Alex Twal is injured at number 13. So a lot of people are pivoting to Terrell May. Base and power of 86 points throughout the season. On the weekend, pure base of 80 points. Absolutely ridiculous. He's going to get a bump up in minutes. The game he played against Manly, he scored 82 in 80 minutes. So the minutes are there when Twal is out. So 80 minutes without Twal, 64 minutes on the weekend when Twal got injured during that game. So he's been performing so well anyway, and he's been someone I've wanted for a long time. This has to be the week, like for me, I guess, to get him in. His break-even's 86. He's not going to move that much in price. Like that's what he's scoring.
It's probably a silly concern, but I'm just I'm looking at him pretty heavily too, and probably going to bring him in this week. But just a little bit concerned that he could maybe find his way into the Origin side. I guess there's probably some ahead of him, but
I don't think he's making the Origin team.
Yeah,
I don't think he's making the Origin team. I'm getting up a clip from today. I don't usually do this on the podcast.
I saw him having a chat to. I haven't seen the clip you're talking about.
Allowed to post your tries and not allowed to post you guys on their app and that kind of stuff. And I'm just like,
oh wait, yeah, that's blacklist. Wait, here we go. Suicide on the Voice for the Community Transformation.
So is he doing a little bit of trash talking about the Blues selection committee or something like that, or
yeah, something like that.
And just a little bit of tainted. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I got the wrong one up.
The only it's probably not that big of a concern, but the only reason I'm allowed to be that worried about it is
Oh, here we go.
You feel like saying what you said on that stream affected your chances making the squad?
Definitely affected.
You feel that?
Yeah, you know how some players get the call you need to work on this in your game or to be selected.
Feedback.
I'm still I've never got. The only time I got feedback was when I met with him last year, but that was after game 1 when I said that stupid thing, and then this year nothing. Couldn't even make the rookie, whatever they picked, that 50-man squad. I'm just wondering what I need to improve and that kind of stuff to try and tap into that space, because obviously everyone wants to play State of Origin in their career and that kind of stuff. But I just got no feedback from anyone.
Still worried?
Not particularly. I guess like that. He didn't say anything particularly bad, like fuck the Blues and fuck Laurie. Like that, he put a complete red line through him. But I guess maybe chatting on it maybe doesn't seem like, I don't know, the best way to go about it. Like on that front, I don't know. It's like,
I mean, what else can he do? Like, I think in all my predicted sides going up to round game 1, I was like, fuck yeah, get him in.
yeah, I'm just a bit worried because if like, I don't know, I just feel like some of our forward, like the 2 starters for us weren't amazing. Barnett looked like he was a bit underdone, and AFB, I'm just wondering whether he's maybe too
Payne
big.
Haas is going to go straight in.
Yeah.
And like, I guess if AFB and Barnett are dropped, that saves one spot.
There's probably a very slim chance, but I'm a little bit like thinking if there's any players that have a little bit of doubt over them, maybe I just wait till next week to bring those players in.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I get a little bit of 100% reassurance, and then I could maybe bring in some other players that I want to bring in.
You could go for the players that
this
people
week
are
instead.
Targeting next week.
Yeah, that may seem less like they're definitely not getting picked because they're just not in contention. They're a Kiwi or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
so,
like maybe a Jermaine Asako or someone
or even
like
like Jaden Campbell, who's not, I know he's not Kiwi or anything, but like the probably well out of contention with the amount of other people that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Although like, he would definitely fit in that Queensland side.
You could force him in there, no, but I'm just saying there's other guys that were even in the contention and chat, and you know what I mean. Like it's not going to happen. So
yeah,
I could go that way instead. But yeah, I'm pretty. I don't know. I'm thinking I might just do it still.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's very unlikely, right?
It is very unlikely, and it feels like we can't really
Jackson
get
Ford probably goes in ahead of him if they're going to try to bring someone outside of Payne as well into that squad.
Latrell Siegwalt, cheapie of the week, 201,000. Goal kicking, had a bit of not a shocker, but wasn't as good with the tee last time. Plays Manly, Broncos, and Parramatta in the next 3. Has a bye round 16, 201K. Only available at halfback and fullback, which is the tricky part. I would say on the most traded out list, there are a lot of Nico Hynes sellers probably going to him. So what are your thoughts on Latrell Siegwalt? Looks okay, but
Latrell Mitchell's out for a bit longer. I
round
think
17 he's due back, but they've got another bye in between now and then. So he'll probably get 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Probably only 2 weeks, to be honest, because they have bye round 16.
Yep, that's right. So should we only get 2 games? I think it's a bit risky. Frees up a lot of cash, but probably not going to make enough cash to be an easy move back onto one of these guns when you need to. You'll be sitting there at maybe like 400, 450 at the best. You know what I mean? Absolute best, I'd say.
Negative 84 break even. So say he scores, what did he score on the weekend?
Going to have to probably make another wild downgrade to free up the cash again to get.
Yeah, he scored 60 on the weekend. So if he scores a 40, then all of a sudden his break even's really low now. He'll make a bit of cash, and then that 92 will go out of his rolling average. So like he could barely get to 300K, and you would potentially need to move him on because he would just be sitting there. But Jack White's still out for a while, so there's every chance he moves over to the right side maybe. So who knows?
Could get a bit of luck with him, but yeah, you could create a difficult situation for yourself too. There might be easier ways to free up cash that look a bit more, less headaches.
I think if it was in centre wing, I'd still be a bit hesitant, but I'd still consider.
You can hide him away easier.
Yeah. But since it's in such a key position, I just think it's
agreed. Yeah,
it's your fantasy side suicide. I like it. All right, moving on. Let's move on to Pearce-Paul, 652,000. He's going really good at the moment. I bought him in last week. Sold Stefano for him, who Stefano actually scored more than he did. But Pearce-Paul, base empowering, 65 this year. Another 75 on the weekend with 47 in base. He had a try assist and a line break assist. So not actually super happy with that outcome. I was expecting him to it's 1 week, but the attack's there. He's scoring a lot more than he has in the past. He's pretty cheap. He's $650K. That's pretty cheap considering.
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't have much runs. That was just the frustrating part. They didn't get the ball to him. Like, just it didn't work out that way. That I mean, he had, I think, like 3 or 4 runs at one point. He might even finish talking about that. But yeah, I got him too. Good price. He's probably going to be one of the better second rowers, and yeah, I think he's a good thing. Has that nice stretch of games. They don't have a bye over the rest of the bye period up until round 19. They don't have any more buys, so it's really handy.
Jaden Campbell. You just touched on Jaden Campbell. He's 617,000. He has a break even of 58. He's base empowering 43. He's coming like these are his scores this year. Like for someone who hasn't really been on the radar, 55, 58, 62, 89 in the last few weeks. He started off the season with 97, 97, 70, and 116.
And he's always got like a random 170 up his sleeve that he just brings out, doesn't he?
He's a goal kicker. They have the Broncos, the Tigers next week in the bye when they'll probably be missing Appy to Origin potentially because of the Brayley injury. They have Penrith in round 16 who will be affected by Origin, so it's probably not the worst matchup. Then they have the Dogs, then a bye, and then their run home is quite nice actually. So they've got Manly, Dragons, Wars, Cowboys, Newcastle, Sharks, Rabbitohs, and Dolphins. These are all good size, but defensively, like someone like Jaden Campbell can really take advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you could end up holding him that long if you want to, and he's going well enough that you don't feel like you need to move him on. But I feel like he'll probably be a temporary thing. I just feel like Nico and Nath are probably going to be the two guys you probably want to finish with, but definitely Nath. Maybe you could make an argument that Nico might
Could he be your flex?
be expendable.
Do you think
temporarily? I mean, in this period, yeah, because there's that there's only one real gun fullback available for round 15 in Reece Walsh. So maybe you could not have a 3-gun fullback prong attack for this little period.
Who do you think are the best 3 fullbacks to end the year? Because, I don't think there is 3 standouts.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, isn't it? I mean,
I know Teddy's one for me.
Probably Ponga, for one.
Yeah, Ponga.
I don't have him at the moment. Haven't had him all year, but he looks super fit.
Yep.
And
I'm with you there. I think Ponga's definitely one. And if Reece Walsh does hit his straps, then
well, you expect they probably will. Broncos were in the same spot this time last year, position wise, and maybe it is just the week that Reece, opens a can of whoop ass and starts to light it up. They already showed a little bit of glimpses in the back end of that second half. That could have been I know it's not. It's an 80 games go for 80 minutes, but maybe there was a little bit of at least they finished with a positive attitude that they might be able to take into next week. You know what I mean? It wasn't just they got beat 30-6 or something. They did come back a bit. So yeah, maybe he goes on 2 little tears of a game. He's one I'm a little bit more nervous could get selected on the bench for Origin. So I'm really reluctant to want to do him this week.
Is he someone you're going to wait for next week?
I think I'd have to, but
he's $550K.
Yeah,
he has a break even of 75, so he hasn't scored over.
The difficulty is it's all about timing. So if I'm going to want to buy him for round 15, he's going to be available, then the most likely person I'm going to want to sell for him, it's really hard to say. I've got Drinkwater in my side who just broke my heart. Could sell him. Far Logo, I think I like him still.
Yeah.
He had 60.
He could be an end of season guy.
Yeah, I think he's still in it. Yeah, I think he's still amongst it. He's got a lot of effort in him, and I just think once the side really clicks, sky's the limit for him.
Potentially the most exciting SuperCoach player to own a.
Yeah. And even 2 weeks ago, when he scored a 60, it was just all effort, and he's been trying his little heart out in defence too.
I've been very critical of his defence to start the season, but I can definitely see way more effort.
Oh, he's making little legs tackles. He's putting his body on the line. Maybe a couple of bad choices here and there, but it's not because of effort.
Yeah. So Reece Walsh, Gold Coast, round 15, he plays the Rabbitohs. Then he has a bye in round 16. So Reece Walsh at 550K. That's so cheap.
So the position I'm in too is the other guy that I'm holding here that I'm not overly attracted to at the moment. Might have to dig a bit deeper into the future run for him, but he's possibly just selling Teddy now. Like the break even's so high, and it frees up just the right amount of cash for me to sell Lecker the Wrecker, who I've had enough of, to Terrell May. So the thing I like about that is I've been able to get rid of Garner last week and Lecker the Wrecker. They're my two kind of biggest weaknesses, other than I've got a Manu Leilua on my bench too.
Teddy's record against Canberra is ridiculous. Like his last 3 scores, 151, 104, 91. I know it's a night game this week and they're playing at GIO on Friday night, which probably, I mean, it's getting cold now. So I would say that the ceiling is not above 150. I remember that vividly, actually. That was a day game at GIO. But he likes playing Canberra. He's back out from Origin. He's got a week off. I think people are overreacting with selling him. How many people have sold him this week? 1,600 people have sold him. I get the vibe that more people are looking at selling him over this period.
Yeah.
For me, he's someone that the break even is so irrelevant.
Only if you're going to keep him. But if you decide you're going to move him on, he could be the guy that you just decide, oh, he's the one I want to sell now. It's come to around 15 and you're selling him for 120K or 150K less or something like that. It's probably not going to be that much less if you wait till next week.
To be fair, you can pick him up cheaper. Like his break-even's 197.
It could be, though. It's a disaster.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like he plays every game through this period except round 15. Does he back up every week? I don't know. I think they're going to give him a rest at some point, surely, because they're in third at the moment.
Maybe with Mark coming back too, Mark Nwang'anituase, they either put him to fullback or because they have talked about putting Mark there, but they could put Cody there, who's got a bit more experience.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you get 230K by going Teddy to Walsh, but for me, I think Drinkwater's more of a sell over this.
Yeah,
period.
I do too, but it doesn't free up the amount of cash that I need to buy the player that I want in Terrell May. So yeah.
So Drinkwater, he plays the Dolphins this week, a bye next week, then follows up with the Wars, who we've seen how good they are, even though their origin affected a little bit. Round 17, they play a full strength Panthers, then they have a bye in round 18, and then they play Manly at 4 Pines Park, and then they have the Dolphins, Broncos, Roosters, and then they're going to a bit of a softer draw of the last 4. So, and that's Gold Coast, Parramatta, Tigers, Canberra. So, break even of 82. I don't think you need to pull the trigger on Drinky this week, but he's every chance of being a sell next week to someone like Reece Walsh.
Yeah, so I know you sort of say that Teddy goes pretty well against Canberra, but I have had a little look into how Canberra are going against fullbacks because I ended up captaining Drinkwater against them last week, so I had a bit of a dive into that. They've conceded about 73 points to fullbacks over the year. That was prior to last week. That would have probably dropped a little bit with that Drinky 28.
Yep.
But I went back and just looked at the last 5 to 7 rounds, and I don't think there was a score above 70 from a fullback in the last 7 rounds against the Raiders. So yeah, I won't have the time to go through it now. It'll be too slow but yeah, even full of the week before 48. And if you just go back, if you got the time now and you're thinking about selling tree, just go back round by round and look at the fullbacks, and you'll see that there's nothing really too great to write home about there. So maybe you could add that to either the pros or cons list, depending on which way you're looking at it.
Yeah. Canberra are building into the season. I think they're definitely way better than they were early on in the season. They had some teething issues. The Roosters are getting worse. So this could be one of those situations where you are relying on a bounce back and you're relying on old form to muscle memory and all that sort of stuff. Whereas what's the thing we've kind of told each other all season? Just pick up on the trends and just roll with it. I do think Teddy's been good this year, but he hasn't been that 150 plus kind of good this year.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. I would if he was there's no way in the world that they just go with that'd be a real bold play, wouldn't it? Like if they lost the game, they probably look at shaking it up a little bit. But I don't reckon
if he didn't score that final try, I just think Laurie Daly.
It helped his cause a little bit, didn't it? Yeah,
it did.
It'd be hard to drop him after the match winning, even though
there's no way he's dropped.
Yeah.
There's no way he's dropped. But 21 and 48 in the last 2 weeks. Dare I say they're the lowest scores he'll score all season. He scored 162 versus Newcastle. I just hate how he's what's it called? Playing Origin now. We haven't had him play Origin the last couple of years, so we don't really know the sample size of how he's going to go throughout this period.
I'm thinking about doing it, hey. I'm really thinking I'll probably do it. Like, it's just doesn't play round 15. He won't play round 18 as well with missing that bye there. Does he back up the weeks outside of that? Yeah, it's probably just he might be one of the guys I end up bringing back in, but I'll be okay with that, I think. He's gonna. The good thing about bringing a guy in like that is you're dropping him before a big price drop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is the week you got to do it. Unlike Drinky, you got to wait till next week, or you can wait till next week for Drinky, but
which I probably wouldn't move on both. I'll probably only move one of them out.
Yeah. Oh, it's a tough time of year, isn't it? Shout out to Ben Spring coaching at HQ Training. He's a Navy veteran based in Bathurst.
What's this?
He's an online strength coach.
Yep.
So if you need a PT and online, reach
New
out
sponsor,
to him.
mate.
Yeah, well, God, not really. Not really. He's I've been talking to him for a long time. He's gone through. He's a Navy veteran, and he did his shoulder the other week, or sorry, probably like a year ago now. And I saw videos of him in the gym just like pumping iron, like doing chest press with the good shoulder. So he's been trying to get his business out there. _B Spring on Instagram. Head over to his page and click his link tree to apply for some coaching. And he's an absolute weapon. He's a good coach and
play SuperCoach.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously,
What do you think? What do you think he's targeting? Why do you think he's reached out?
Must be a good bloke then.
_B Spring on Instagram, and he'll do you a solid for some coaching. So head over to his Instagram, HQ Training. Absolute legend of a bloke, Ben. All right, let's move on to the next player in focused. I apologize, I lost my page here. All right, moving on to Dylan Lucas, 689,000, absolutely killing it. How quick is he?
Yeah, he loves it.
I think he plays Origin. If he doesn't, he plays the Dragons in a couple of weeks after the bye in round 15. Then he plays the Tigers in round 17, and then the Dolphins in round 18.
Who do you reckon he comes in for? What's the swap there?
I reckon he's on the bench.
But who do they drop for him?
Well, there's a 6-man bench, and I feel like Jacob Safidi didn't get on the field.
Maybe they decide they don't need that.
And I reckon he takes that spot. And I have a feeling that so Jacob Safidi will come out, and I would say one of Mitch Barnett or Adam Fennell-Blake drops out for Payne Haas. That's just my vibe. But at least, dare I say, we should just wait another week and see how he goes this week.
Or 2 or 3 weeks for me. If you can't.
Yeah, true.
Round 15 numbers.
Break even of 46, so he's absolutely not a must-have. He plays Melbourne this week, but he's someone who is on the most traded in list, and a lot of people looking at. For me, I don't think you need to move this week. You get someone like Terrell May more likely. Yes?
Another bloke I don't mind is Fuyaki.
Fuyaki.
Yeah.
I think he's someone that does go into Origin though.
Yeah, that's a risky play. That was one of my fringier guys that was kind of like probably wait a week and see what happens.
Yeah, because Pat Carrigan is injured now, so there's a lock position available. He didn't start though, did he? Max Plath started, so there's every chance that I think Fini Fuyaki comes on to. I mean, they probably need another middle, but I don't know. My vibe was Fini Fuyaki comes onto the right edge, Cotter moves into the middle. That's my vibe. Tupanua was the last on the list, 608,000, and talk about a sliding doors moment. when we got Leka Halasima, we could have jumped on Tupanua at
I couldn't afford him. I couldn't afford Tupanua.
487K. The last few weeks, he's gone 61, 60, 61, 89, 117. He's played 80 minutes for 4 weeks straight. So he's an absolute weapon. He looks scary as fuck.
He's a beast. He was a beast when he was at the Roosters getting good time too. That's all I got to say on that.
Great input. All right. Anything else? Any other players of interest that you are keen on over the next couple of weeks? I think we've got to potentially target a centre wing.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I wasn't particularly big on this guy probably about a month ago when he first popped onto the radar as a possible buy, but I'm looking at Bostock potentially. Just price. I would prefer Azarko, but Azarko's got a bazillion break even. And he's about $800 zillion as well. So, yeah, you'd buy him. You'd need him to go really well. Otherwise, he's just straight away leaking cash that you've just paid up for. But, yeah, they've got a really good stretch as well. The Finns don't have any more buys over this buy period either. So, hot property. I think Bostock's just at that 600K price. He hasn't got too far away from where he was available at 500K. It's only 100K more. He's still putting out much bigger numbers than that. He scored a 60 last week, which is his lowest score, but he's had some, pretty easy, well, not easy, but he looked like he did it easily, 80s and tons. So, yeah, I like him. And he just looks like he's got that vibe of a player who's really got that hot hand. He's in form. And he's about to take it to the next level as well. So, on that chat, I think he's one of those guys. So, pretty big on him as well. But I think he might have to wait till next week for me.
Thoughts on Tane Tuilpiki?
Wish I had him instead of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck in my side when I had the option to go with him. But just that week, Tuilpiki scores were a bit low leading up into that round. He might be the best of the other fullbacks available for round 15.
Centre wing though.
That's the point. Yeah. So you got guys like Yongi, you got Buller, KO Weeks, and these fringier sort of sides, fringier sort of guys that put up more sort of 50, 60, 70s more often. You know what I mean? You can get these guys to go on a big game, but I've looked into all those guys and they've got too many like 30s as well.
I really like KO Weeks.
Yeah, he's usually one of those guys that just has a couple of breakout games, and whether the timing's right, whether the matchups are good, and whether the team's firing, and they feel like they just got a little bit of ascendancy back.
He's averaging 64. He hasn't got a ton this year. His two lowest scores, 44 and 49.
64 is not a great average, though.
No, it's not. But he's barely got a ton. 58, 52. 50 and
I see what you mean. He doesn't have a ton boosting up those averages or anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I reckon they're still yet to come. Plays the Roosters this week, but after this week, right? Parramatta, Melbourne, St George in round 17, the Dogs, and then the Rabbitohs. Doesn't play round 18, which is a bit awkward. But I feel like he's someone that just could be that 3-week play around.
Yeah, you'd want to have him in for just a small period, not have him hang around for too long and then move him on. Potential pod play that could just go really well. I
think Tamale isn't a bad option either. 500K, he's quite cheap at the moment, so you could probably go, a Setu2 down to him. 53 on the weekend, 63, 40. Oh, they're not impressive numbers, are they? Averaging 57.9 with a ton. I mean, if you're getting someone like Tamale for a Setu2, it's just you feel more safe about the same scores, really. Setu2, just quietly, he's going all right, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a little bit about him where he's got a bit of tackle bust. He has a real red hot crack. A few defensive issues under the high ball, but he's holding his spot.
For sure. All right, what do you trades this week?
Option A is Leka Halasima to Terrell May, and there's either Cleary to Jaden Campbell, free up the right amount of cash, or to do Halasima to May instead of doing Cleary to JC, I could go Teddy to Walsh. I'm not really sort of confident with those. So there's a big part of me that kind of goes, for me to make that Halasima move to Terrell May, I need to free up the right amount of cash. I don't want to force another move that I'm not sure of in like a cheapy, wafty sort of player that's going to give me headaches. So I might end up just sort of potentially bringing in Terrell May next week if I find another just couple of trades that I can do, like maybe Bostock's on the cards this week. I've got Tuivasa Sheck there that could go to him. But I've just got to make sure I've got to do 2 trades, and I've got to like those 2 trades. They've got to count to 15, around 15 numbers, so I can bring in another 3 of them next week too. So they're pretty much, I've got a few shortlist players just in case I haven't missed anyone that might feature. Terrell May, Reece Walsh, Jaden Campbell, Zarko and Bostock. So they're the names I sort of mentioned. There's a few fringier considerations like Latrell Siegwalt, David Fafita, who's probably wouldn't look at him first game back, but he's a guy that could be a buy round number that might look up for coming weeks if he goes all right. KO Weeks, Billy Smith is another one. I don't know how much longer he's going to stay on the wing. Do you know much about that? Tupu, what he's...
Great question.
Yeah, not too sure.
I think he's due back in a couple of weeks.
But either way, he'll find his way back to centres. You'd prefer him on the wing?
Savala will stay there.
I don't reckon.
Well, Savala was there prior when he was fit and available.
And he was just out of the team, or was he just kind of on the fringes because he was injured, not fully fit? Maybe I think they prefer Billy Smith over Savala.
No, they've been choosing Savala.
We'll see about that. I don't know. I know he's been going well, but Billy Smith's pretty heavily touted.
You're the one that always stresses over these ones, like, oh, is this person going to come back?
Yeah. I see what you mean. But I'm just, as a discussion point, I still think that Billy's probably going to be preferred. I think he's a better footy player for centres as well. He's an out-and-out centre.
Yep.
Keanu Kinney is like another fringe one. He's sort of been underwhelming, but he's a fullback that's sort of in that.
Yeah, I think like he's got those fucking.
But if you're gonna go someone like a KO Weeks or something, I feel like maybe there's a little bit more SuperCoach pedigree in a
Keanu Kinney.
Yeah, I know it has been a little bit not there this year, but
I just think in the side that they have there at the Titans, Jaden Campbell, like I'm even skeptical to buy him. He's the center of their attack, and I'm skeptical to buy him because they're not scoring enough.
These
points.
are all fringe considerations. That was the heading of this one, so keep that in mind. And Xavier Willison, although he's pretty kind of a bit of old news, and not everyone's got him, but he's kind of
he'll get a bump up in minutes now with.
Well, that's what. Going into the middle is good for him.
Just at the moment, I've locked in Alex Twal to Terrell May. Easy trade for me there. If I make another trade, it's probably not going to be. It's probably going to be Setu to someone like a Tamale or someone shit like that. But I feel like I'm semi need to force it, but I don't.
How many you said you've got about 11 at the moment, right?
About 10 now
after trades.
Yeah. No, 10 after one trade.
10 after one trade.
Yeah.
So max you'll be able to get to anyway is probably going to be 13, right?
Yeah, so I'm thinking of banking 1 this week so I don't have to make 3 next week.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, just making 3. But maybe that's the decision I need to do.
Well, sometimes if you force it this week, right, and it's not like it can be better because as long as it's not the guy that you bring in that gets injured,
yes,
you're freeing yourself up for if someone else in your side gets injured.
Exactly.
Because you might go, sweet, if I'll bring in 3, I'll get to 13, but 2 of them get injured this week and 1 of them gets a call up. That's when you're in trouble.
I don't mind Drinky to someone. I don't mind Setu to someone. I've also got, what are your thoughts on like someone like Lasardi? Do you think he's going to be a sell at some point?
It's very luxury. I've got heaps bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I know. Well, my side's looking okay. Like,
I'd be selling like a Halasima before you sell him.
Yeah, but he's
cost price wise and value.
Yeah,
you mean?
he's 386K. Like he's probably someone I'd look at selling next week.
Yeah, maybe you can just hold on to him too because Jacob Laban, I had him my side, and now he's come back and he's got a negative BE and he scored an 80 last week.
Well,
it's more about the AE nightmare in the short term.
Yeah, well, Lecker's also my final second row, so I feel like you can cop that, especially when the rest of your sides.
And he's a fringe buy number as well.
Yes, correct.
Around 15.
All right, captains.
Jeez, let's go to captains. You start talking first. And
I definitely want to have Herbie in there because Herbie absolutely kills the Cowboys every time he plays them. So I've got Herbie locked in some capacity. He plays 5:30 Saturday, so probably a VC. And then I'll probably captain Nathan Cleary.
What did he miss the last game for?
Sorry?
What did he miss his last game for?
Who? Herbie, hamstring tightness.
Is that a little bit concerning, or you reckon he'll be sweet?
It was tightness, so he was rested. Like, I don't know. I find that fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just thinking that could be risky as a captain.
Against the Cowboys, although Tom Chester's their center wing now, so very different circumstances now. 77, 150, and 46 in the last 3 outings. I don't know. I just get the vibe that, Herbie up in Townsville, hot weather, he's the most attractive VC in my opinion. And I'm captaining Cleary. If I sway away from that, then, Terrell May is a pretty solid option.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely captain Cleary over Terrell May just as a upside chaser, I guess.
And I think like the Tigers have performed well.
But they're not 100% at where they'd probably like to be still, hey?
Yeah, I don't know. Like the Dragons performed well against Penrith and so did the Warriors.
Twelve's been doing solid things for him and they could miss that too. I'm pretty confused by this weekend. I'm thinking definitely probably captain Cleary and then probably vice captain Herbie. I like him as a vice captain better than a captain just with the insurance of if anything goes wrong.
Yep.
And that's probably about it. There's a lot of decent sort of like you could chuck them in the mix sort of options. Like as if you're a Ponga owner or even like...
Yeah, Ponga's not a bad VC. A Farlongo maybe.
Yeah, they're VCs and if they just kill it, the matchup's not ideal for them. But
actually, I like Tedesco as well. I like Tedesco against Canberra. I think after a disappointing performance last week, the Roosters will definitely bounce back in some capacity this week. So, I actually might VC.
What about Ruben Garrick going up against Latrell Siegwalt?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I'm very excited to own Ruben Garrick at 4 Pines Park as well. So, he's underwhelmed, that's for sure. But the fact that he's underwhelmed and still scoring 50, I'm okay with it. Not everyone's jumping on, so he's a nice little Potteroony to own. All right, that's it for the podcast this week. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Shout out to Karmagar Accounting. Head over to karmagaraccounting.com.au for all your tax account purposing needs. 0401 044 839. Give him a call, $110 for a basic tax return. If you have anything more complicated, then head over and refer the show, and you'll get a discount on that. Any last words?
No.
Okay.
No last words.
Okay, thank you for joining the podcast this week, and we'll see you next week. We also have updated colours. Very nice.